let's go through how the Democrats are reacting to Trump's State of the Union address. So it is truly, truly remarkable how cringe they are. And there are certain parts of the left that aren't cringe, which is why they have such a stranglehold over Hollywood and over the music industry and things like that. I get that. But, I mean, just look at this. This was the Dems counter-protest last night during the president's State of the Union speech. Is that Joy Reid? That's Joy Reid! Hey!
I think I did okay.
You did amazing. Yes. You get an A. I don't give grades though. We just go on vibes, and the vibes were immaculate.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The vibes were cringe. They were not immaculate. What were they singing? They can't imprison us all? Yeah, like they can't imprison us all. They can't imprison us all. Oh, geez. This is just as cringe as MAGA rap. What are we doing here? Oh, my gosh. Truly. This person said this. It's like Thanksgiving dinner. The grown-ups were at the adult table in the other room discussing real issues while the children are at the kiddie table talking about Pokemon and unicorns. Except Pokemon and unicorns is better than whatever this was. Oh, man. That's the best that the left has to offer. And then look. Sarah Huckabee Sanders said this. The difference today isn't between left and right. It's normal versus crazy. So versus right versus left. It's normal versus crazy. And yeah, I mean, that is what left and right is today. The left is crazy and the right is normal. So, and wokeness. Let's check in on the Dem counter event to Trump's State of the Union. So this is their People's State of the Union, I believe.
I'm a mother. I am a physician, and I have a flag. And I am the proud representative for Oregon's 3rd Congressional District. Yes, thank you. Thank
what
you.
Why are they all wearing frog hats and frog costumes? What is going on? What is this?
And tonight, I defy Trump and his authoritarian project by standing in joyful, radical, peaceful resistance with the Portland Frog Brigade.
The Portland Frog Brigade? This has to be a joke. Oh my gosh. First of all, she is just lying straight out of her face. She's from Oregon, right? Portland is a cesspool for Antifa. But she's saying that, oh, we're doing it peacefully. No, you're not. And you egg on and celebrate the leftist agitators that attack ICE agents. And then you start mourning for them once they F around and find out. So what are you talking about? You're lying straight to your teeth that you're saying it's a peaceful protest, but look, I just... The Frog Brigade.
Peaceful resistance with the Portland Frog Brigade.
The Portland Frog Brigade is probably all like Antifa members inside there with septum piercings and tattoos all over their face and colored hair. Like truly, this is what Democrats are doing instead of attending Trump's State of the Union speech. Democrats are literally hanging out with deranged leftists dressed in giraffe costumes, bragging about getting arrested by ICE. Oh my gosh. What are they doing? What are we doing? Like, look at this. Look at this. So that was the Frog Brigade. Look at this.
I'm fresh out of an ICE prison in Minneapolis. I've been arrested 3 times by ICE over absurdity, over us being ourselves.
Yeah, when they say just being ourselves is them being violent and crazy and erratic.
Over me singing songs like, hey, Mr. Tangerine Man, get rid of brown people for me. I'm Aryan white, there ain't no place I'm going to. And then all of a sudden, he's not
What the heck? What?
ready for primetime player ICE agents with 2 weeks of training come after me. I got arrested in Portland. I got arrested in Minneapolis in the last 3 weeks twice. But they can't erase a movement, all right? What I went through is 1/1000th of a lot of marginalized people and what they have to go through in those ICE detention centers.
ICE detention centers have beds. They're not these like terrible prison cells. I wish they were, honestly, because if you're a criminal alien and you come into this country illegally, then you're a criminal. So there's no reason to treat you with such accommodation. But this is the mercy of the American government. Like the current administration is being kind. This guy is just, what a freaking sellout. What I went through is nothing compared to what the migrants go through in ICE detention centers. They're the true victims. They're the true ones. Like, oh my gosh.
And I want to tell you something right now. There's an announcement. Pumpkin Spice Satan is making his way to the State of the Union. So you know what we're going to do?
Pumpkin Spice Satan? Is that their new name for Trump? What? What? He doesn't probably even drink pumpkin spice lattes. Oh my gosh, dude.
We're going to rev up the show right now. We're giving out prizes. We're going to have bingo. We're going to storm the White House with love and compassion.
Storm the White House with love and compassion. When they say that, that means with violence and extremism. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Furries are out of control. We gotta get the furries in control, chat. But this is truly, truly unbelievable. All these words, and it's that like that scene from Friedman when she says to demons, words are just a means to deceive. And truly, for a lot of these leftists, they are oppressed by or possessed by demons. And so the words that come out of their mouth are only used to gaslight, to deceive you. When they say they want to storm the White House with love and compassion, no, there's a reason why this guy was arrested 3 times. It's because he's violent. He's a violent agitator. A completely unhinged violent agitator. So it's not with love and compassion. They actually do it in violence. And they call themselves the good guys so that nothing they ever do is bad and everything they do is justified. And they call us the bad guys so that no matter what we do, everything we do is evil. And then so they can justify committing grave acts of evil against people like you and me. This is what Democrats do. This is what liberals do. They're disingenuous. They deceive. They lie. And they destroy. Like this is how Democrats were responding and reacting to the State of the Union address while it's going on. Oh, I get it. They call it the State of the Swamp. So that's why they're all in like frog costume, because it's like swamp, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you should have worn like Shrek hats then, because Shrek is the ogre and he's like the Lord of the Swamp. Boo, boo, boo. It's just so cringe, man. It's so cringe. And then so as a result, we had, of course, the counter, because there's always the counter State of the Union address from the opposing party. And then so we had Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger, okay, former CIA officer. Our president has endangered a long and storied history of the United States of America being a force for good. And just saying, this woman wants to trans children and wants to kill babies up until birth. You have no place to talk about what the good is.
Immigration system is something to be fixed, not an excuse for unaccountable agents to terrorize our communities.
Well, true. I think the broken immigration system needs to be fixed. I think we should let much less immigrants, actually no immigrants for the next 10 years or 20 years, have a complete immigration moratorium.
After working in law enforcement, I continued my career of service as a CIA officer, working undercover to protect the United States and our allies from global threats, terrorism, nuclear weapons, and the aggression of adversarial nations around the globe.
It's kind of funny because with CIA officers like her, no wonder the CIA has been so corrupt and so evil for so long, so subversive. And she's talking about foreign adversaries and protecting America against foreign adversaries. And in the same vein, these Democrats like Abigail Spanberger literally pledge loyalty to foreign nationals and foreign invaders over American citizens. Again, words are a means to deceive. For politicians like this, is just a means to deceive.
But as the president spoke of his perceived successes tonight, he continues to cede economic power and technological strength to Russia, bow down to China, bow down to a Russian dictator, and make...
What? Trump is not bowing down to China. He is the most like hard on China president we've had in modern American history.
Plans for war with Iran. Here's the truth. Over the last year, through Doge, mass firings, and the appointment of deeply unserious people to our nation's most serious positions, our president has endangered the long and storied history of the United States of America being a force for good.
It's the irony of Democrats calling Trump's appointees deeply unserious. Now, to be fair, I think there are some deeply unserious appointees, namely podcasters into government. When you had Kash Patel and Dan Bongino going to at the FBI, and then Dan Bongino left last month, and then Kash Patel is not doing as much as he should. He's the freaking director of the FBI, the most powerful law enforcement agency in the country. And what is he doing? What you doing? Like, it just seems like he's doing podcast tours and partying up in Italy all the time. But everyone else, I mean, Pete Hegseth is great. I think Kristi Noem, again, like I said, women shouldn't be in politics, but I can appreciate Kristi Noem's doing a good job as DHS secretary. I think overall his appointees are doing a pretty good job. All things considered. Well, much better than what we would have had under Kamala Harris. Oh, dear Lord. And this is what Abigail also said. Is Trump also working for you?
Tonight, as we watched our nation's lawmakers gather for a joint session of Congress, we did not hear the truth from our president. So let's speak plainly and honestly. And let me ask you, the American people watching at home, 3 questions. Is the president working to make life more affordable for you and your family? Is the president working to keep Americans safe both at home and abroad?
Yeah.
Is the president working for you?
Yeah.
As I campaigned for governor last year, I traveled to every corner of Virginia, and I heard the same pressing concern everywhere. Costs are too high in housing, healthcare, energy, and childcare. And I know these same conversations are being had all across this country.
Yeah, true. But here's the thing. I know this might get me a lot of heat, but I don't have that many viewers, so probably wouldn't. The reason why mass democracy is such a mistake is because of things like this. And what I mean by that is that most people think that a president can just completely switch the affordability, the cost of living, the entire economy just by the switch of a hand. Like literally by by snapping his hands, he can make the country more affordable. It doesn't work like that. Especially the economy, to fix and correct the economy, it takes time. It takes a lot of time. And especially with the insane amount of money printing that's happened, that devalues our currency and devalues the money that we have saved with rapid inflation, it's not, literally, Trump can't just do this and completely price control everything and make everything cheaper again. Like, that's not how the economy works. Like, an adjustment to an economy, no matter how great Trump's policies are, even if Trump had like the most perfect economic policies, these things take time. And the fact that there are a lot of people saying, well, it's been less than a year than Trump's been in office. It's been a year since Trump's been in office. And yeah, my grocery prices aren't as expensive, but they're still expensive compared to 6 years ago. Yeah, I know. He can't just completely force all these corporations to bring down the price. Like, that's not how the economy works. Unless you want to live in a socialist hellhole, by all means. And I'm not like a full-blown capitalist either. I do think that the government has a place in order to rein in corporations and greedy corporations. But every time they try to do these things, like you have to understand that in order to have a country, you need wealth generation. And if you want any sort of wealth distribution or a control on consumer prices and things like that, first you need a good amount of wealth accumulation and generation. And so, but if we want to put the American people first and not just talk about the GDP, like, here's the thing. If you want affordability to go up, if you want housing prices to go down, if you want American jobs to become for Americans again, Americans to have access to American jobs again, and to have American unemployment go down, if you want living wages to go up, all these things can be solved by deporting immigrants. Like, deporting illegal aliens, denaturalizing and deporting foreign nationals who pledge no allegiance to America. You do all these things, and yeah, it might be shaky for a little bit, sure, but then things will self-correct. People will have homes again. housing prices go down, consumer prices go down, grocery prices go down, and then living wages go up, jobs go to Americans again out of college or out of high school. Like, so many problems truly can be caused by mass deportations. So many problems can be so many problems can be solved by mass deportations. And I'm not saying like, oh, we should be cruel or anything like that. It's just, yes, get these people out of this country who don't belong in this country. And so many problems, crime, filth, disorder, disunity, the cacophony that is modern day politics, and then multiculturalism, and all of these problems, especially economic problems too, can be solved with mass deportations. They can be solved with mass deportation. And then this is how Abigail Spanberger concluded the Democrat response. Oops.
God bless the Commonwealth of Virginia, and may God bless the United States of America.
The absolute gall of Abigail Spanberger, a Democrat, to invoke the name of God when they wouldn't even stand when Trump celebrated and heralded the rise of Christianity in America. Like I said, words are but a means. Words are but a means to deceive. And here's Chuck Schumer losing his mind on CNN after Trump renewed calls for the Save America Act to be passed. Here we go.
What?
We got good old Chuck Schumer. Let's see what Chuck Schumer had to say.
What the goals are here.
I want to ask about, he talked a lot about the Save America Act, which I do understand is different than just voter ID. What's being put before the Senate is asking for people to have real ID or a passport or a birth certificate to register. When people are generally asked about voter ID, they're being asked to show an ID when they show up to vote. But what I'm asking you, Senator, because I know you're against the Save America Act, what kind of voter ID could you support? Is there a middle ground?
Look, Democrats support voter ID, and many states do, but that's not what the SAVE Act does. It will purge tens of millions of Americans from the voting lists, and they won't even know they're purged till they show up at the polling place and they say you're purged. And
based? Based? We need less people voting, not more. So I don't know why this is a problem. But the thing is, Americans. What do you mean by Americans? He means fake Americans, paperwork Americans, or not even naturalized American citizens. Just people who live in America. And just because you live in America, it doesn't make you an American as much as you sitting in a garage doesn't make you a car. If you're not, at the very bare minimum, an American citizen, you shouldn't vote. I think that if you weren't born in America, you shouldn't vote. And I believe we need to restrict voting privileges from a lot of people. So if it would purge tens of millions of Americans from voting, good. So be it. So be it. Mass democracy is actually a mistake. It is destabilizing for a country.
what is the mechanism for purging them? Doge, what Elon Musk put in terms of the policies of what to do. Do people want ICE to determine who should vote and who should not vote? That is so un-American.
How is that un-American? What is un-American about that? That foreign invaders should not vote in American elections. There's nothing un-American about that. America used to denaturalize and deport communists easily, without question. What is un-American about not allowing foreign nationals to vote in your elections? There's literally nothing un-American about that. Actually, if you want to save America, you're going to take those steps.
The SAVE Act goes way, way beyond mere voter ID when you show up at the election place. It goes to purging it's estimated 20, 30, 40 million Americans would not be allowed to vote if this act took effect.
Wow,
it is outrageous, and as I have said, it is Jim Crow 2.0.
So forget the SAVE Act, but is there...
Jim Crow 2.0. They literally have no other thing to reference other than slavery, Jim Crow, and the Holocaust. Like the racism against black people in American history, Jim Crow, slavery, and then the Holocaust. Like these are the only things they know how to reference. It is so it's like Jim Crow 2.0, Jim Crow 2.0. No, it's not. It's not Jim Crow 2.0.
That has been done.
Is not the Save America Act or SAVE Act, but is there some kind of voter ID you could vote for?
Yes, there is. Democrats have voted for voter ID at the polling places over and over again, and that's not the issue with the SAVE Act.
Okay. Senator Chuck Schumer, thank you for your time this morning. Appreciate you being with us. Kate?
Good to have him.
No, and that is what they're against. They don't want voter ID because they want to cheat. They want to cheat so that they can continue to steal the elections and cheat in the elections. To what extent, I don't know. But to not have secure elections like this, it is preposterous. Not want secure elections, that should be a sole priority. If you're really about saving democracy, but it's not, because their democracy extends to the entire rest of the world. and their loyalty does not lie with America and American citizens. Now, Nancy Pelosi, this was really funny, had a total meltdown on CNN over President Trump's State of the Union speech last night. Let's see how she responded to Trump calling her out for insider trading.
Some foreign policy, after drifting and all the rest, some foreign policy. Did he spend a sentence and a half on Ukraine, where democracy is at stake, where American people want us to be there on the side of democracy?
And it's the 4-year anniversary of the invasion today.
Today is the 4-year anniversary. You think he would have risen to the occasion. But his occasion, as I said in that picture, in some foreign...
Hey, Nancy, is it the state of Ukraine? Is SOTU, does that stand for the State of Ukraine address? Or does it stand for State of the Union? The Union, the United States of America, the American Union. Why would he talk about Ukraine in the State of the Union address when he's talking about the State of America? What? What? And this is what I don't understand. This is why these Democrats are completely and utterly America last. Why? What does Ukraine have to do with the State of the Union right now? We're talking about the State of America. Hello? Not the State of Ukraine. I know you're old, maybe dyslexic now, I don't know. Maybe your brain's not working as it used to. Maybe it never worked in the first place. We're talking about the state of the United States of America, not the state of Ukraine. And this is so ironic coming from Nancy Pelosi because the Democrats didn't even stand for a Ukrainian refugee who was brutally stabbed to death. They didn't stand for her and her mother and her father during the speech. So don't try to appeal to Ukraine now, Nancy. So disingenuous. So disingenuous. Unbelievable. Don't try to play those games, Nancy. And then one of the good ones, actually, John Fetterman.
Will tell you.
Oh, not this guy. John Fetterman actually was the only one who shook hands with Donald Trump, I believe. And John Fetterman said this, that he's disappointed that it's sad that I think half of my colleagues just didn't show up.
Your colleagues who chose not to go, that was their choice. You chose otherwise. What do you think of the decision they made?
Well, I mean, it's just disappointing, honestly. I mean, I think that's sad that I think half of my colleagues didn't show up. I mean, that's not a judgment, but for me, it's like, so for me, that's, I think show up. You don't have to clap for everything. You don't have to agree with anything. I think we're in a different place right now where it's now people not even going to show up or doing other kinds of alternative things. So for me, that's, I think. So.
Your colleagues who chose not.
John Fetterman, let's go. He's one of the good ones, I guess. But yeah, and he's like the only like normal one, I feel like. And then before the State of the Union address, we had this guy. This guy's the worst. This guy's the absolute worst. I'm sure you guys know this guy. Shri Thanedar. This guy with the thickest Indian accent said this before the State of the Union address.
Just in a few hours, Donald Trump is going to go to the U.S. Congress and talk about State of the Union. He will tell a whole bunch of lies because he has failed to take care of the prices. Prices have continuously go up, making it harder for average American.
Bro.
Life is tough. Rents are going up. Grocery prices are going up. Trump will tell you all is well. Don't believe him. Just in a few hours,
This guy can't even speak English. Like, you would think 15 years ago, something like this would have been a parody. To have an Indian foreign national be a congressman. He can't even speak proper English. Donald Trump is going to like the year. Bro, what? We should not have foreigners make laws for you in your own country. This is absolutely insane that we have someone like this in Congress. He hates America. He can't even speak American English properly. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He looks fake. He literally looks like he was made in a lab. He was made in an Indian lab and sent over to America to subvert America.
Trump is going to go to the
U.S. Congress.
U.S. Congress and talk about State of the Union.
Talk about State of Union. Like, he doesn't even use the in the right places. He's gonna talk to the U.S. Congress and talk about State of Union. Talk about State of the Union. This is how immigrants talk. This is how foreign nationals talk. This is not how Americans talk. This is not how Americans talk. And I am unironically more American than this guy, but I'm willing to say that foreign nationals born in different countries in a separate country should not be able to hold political office in America. It applies to the presidency. I think it applies to every single public office. If you're not born in America, you should not be representing Americans because you have no business representing Americans. At all. At all.
State of the Union, he will tell a whole bunch of lies because he has failed to take care of the prices.
Take care of the prices. Jeez, man. Jeez, what are we doing, chat? What are we doing? Be some English, you weirdo. Like, how is this real life? How is this real life? And this is why we need to denaturalize, deport all these people. Seriously, like what? Oh, jeez, man. If you weren't even raised in America, okay, forget even being born in America. If you weren't even raised in America, you have no business holding public office and creating laws that affect the rules and the customs of the country of America. I don't think that should be controversial at all. Like in the same way, I don't think that God bless white people, but white people should be coming into Korea, South Korea in droves and then becoming politicians and congressmen, national assemblymen, the president, and then making laws about Korean politics. Like that's an absurdity. So then why is that logic? And they complain. If white people do that to brown and black countries, it's called colonization, and it's wrong. But then if black and brown people do that to Western countries and Eastern countries, oh, suddenly we're racist for not wanting it? Like, I'm so sick of this backwards double standard. Like, either it's a universal principle or it's not. And if it's not a universal principle, just be honest about it. But they just lie and they deceive. And they gaslight you, and it is so dishonest. And so here's another thing. Democrat Representative Robin Kelly laughs at and mocks American veterans who received the Medal of Honor during President Trump's State of the Union speech. It was like an award show. You get a medal, you get a medal, you get a medal.
I was there, and it was as horrific as I thought it would be.
Did you leave early?
Absolutely.
It was like an award show. You get a medal. You get a medal. You get a medal.
That's literally Mo just said. You get a car. You get a car. Y'all are on the same page.
Jeez. First of all, it's a perfect example why women should be in politics. Second of all, this is why so many people have stereotypes and disdain against black women because they act like this. They're insufferable. They're egotistical. They're narcissistic. No respect. No decorum, no manners, laughing it off for veterans. Veterans who gave their lives, who literally gave their lives to fight for this country. You get a medal, you get a medal. It was such a dumb award ceremony. Seriously, like nothing's sacred to these people. Nothing is sacred to these people. It's truly, it's so, and like the amount of gaslighting they do that we're the problem, we're problematic, it's mind-blowing. And it's so just like Democrats freaked out all over X. Tammy Duckworth, for all who didn't watch tonight, allow me to summarize. The liar lied again. Lied about what? Like what? Like they just say he lies. They just say these things. And then their NPC, brain-rotted voters just believe it. What did he lie about? Seriously, because he didn't even cite that many statistics and data. He was talking about what is destroying America and what needs to happen to fix America. He was talking broader picture, big scope. He was sharing stories about Americans and hurting Americans. What, he lied about Irina Zarutska? Did he lie about the Americans being terrorized by illegal aliens and drug lords and criminals and violent criminals on the streets being let out by these woke DAs, these district judges that are super liberal left-wing? What did he lie about? And they can't point to it. They literally cannot point to it. And then Ilhan Omar, too. Donald Trump killed 2 of my constituents. He's a liar and should be ashamed of himself. Locked replies. Locked replies. She locked replies because she knows she's lying. But she just accuses Trump of lying. And everything that they accuse the right of being is just an admission of guilt. It's just projection. Donald Trump did not kill 2 of your constituents. Your constituents, quote unquote, got themselves killed by attacking ICE. Maybe not attack law enforcement officers, please? And then I comment like this MF locked replies. Sometimes you like to own the libs. Truly incredible. And the only reply the trans woman got was from someone who went to the Quality Leering Center. Quality Leering Center, everyone. Gavin Newsom. Donald Trump is destroying our country. Objectively, he's not. Objectively, he's not destroying the country. Actually, he is making the country better. He is. He's objectively making the country better by all metrics of how to live in an orderly society and in civilization. He is making our country better. And it is, again, like people are saying, have you seen what you did in California? The irony of the California governor saying that Donald Trump is destroying our country. Projection. Look at the state of California and tell me that California is better than it was 15 years ago. California now is awful. It is ridden with homelessness, drugs, crime. It's disgusting. Every time I go back to LA, I'm like, I hate it here. Disgusting. Here's Don Lemon's reaction, his meltdown to the State of the Union. Let's see what Don Lemon, of course, the greatest mind of all time, has to say.
You want to know my thoughts on the State of the Union? The State of the Union is, what the? Like, seriously? Donald Trump saying that he's announcing a fraud unit led by J.D. Vance? Who's going to be the first person to investigate? Donald Trump?
Also, I forgot to mention it, but that's also based. Let's go. Investigate fraud. Get all the fraudsters out. Expose them all. Based.
Are you kidding me? I felt like I was watching a medal ceremony tonight because he kept giving medals to everyone. I thought he was going to give medals to everyone in the crowd. And
yes, veterans deserve medals. Like the amount of disdain that these liberals have for Americans is so absolutely bonkers.
The Olympians at the Olympics, when they win the gold or silver or bronze, their medal ceremony wasn't even as long as he talked about them tonight and their medals and whatever. This is crazy. Donald Trump lied a lot about the cost of things, about what he's accomplished for America, about the economy. He just lies. And the Republicans just kept like standing up and sitting down, sitting up and standing down. I mean, that must have been the most exercise that those fat you-know-whats have gotten in forever. It was a joke. It should be called the State of the Joke. Terrible.
Gosh, this guy has nothing. That was awful. State of the Joke? What? No wonder you got cut from CNN. You're awful, Don Lemon. Jeez Louise, that was so cringe. To be fair, yes, I hate to say it, I'm gonna agree with Don Lemon on one thing. That was probably the most exercise that a lot of Republicans got. Yeah, sure. But we're talking about the politicians. All things considered, the right wing is about health and fitness and taking care of their bodies. The fat phobia and the body positivity. So that's all your stuff. That's all you, Don Lemon. That's all your side. So don't give me that crap. And making fun of Republicans because they're fat. I mean, you're just coming back to the right wing. And then so the dialectic right now, it's happening. Well, you're kind of talking like the right wingers are, calling people fat. I thought that's fat phobic. Oh, I guess fat phobia doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, let's go. Total chud victory. And then you have, of course, CNN being insufferable as always. For the first hour of Donald Trump's State of the Union address Tuesday, Democrats in the House chamber largely stuck to their plan. Stick in stony, defiant silence. But once again, Trump began to level attacks on immigrants. That strategy went out the window. He didn't level attack against immigrants. He was talking about the illegal aliens who are terrorizing Americans and the criminal ones who are coming in, bringing in drugs, bringing in trafficking people, children, the ones defrauding Americans. Yeah, those people. And I said this in response. I ratioed CNN. He attacked illegal aliens, murdering, raping, and pillaging Americans, not all immigrants. He even said that those who are willing to contribute and work hard are welcome. Why do you lie so incessantly? This is why everyone hates you. And that's maybe one pushback I have to give to Trump, that, yeah, maybe not everyone should be welcome, even if they're willing to work hard and contribute, because America's losing its identity. So we need an immigration moratorium, and I wish Trump would be a little more, unapologetic about that. But yeah, I mean, but he did say that those who are willing to contribute and work hard are welcome. And they still lie that he's just attacking all immigrants. Lies, 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 lies. Look, same thing. This guy, Jon Favreau, this awful Democrat commentator, that responding to Stephen Miller saying that Democrats declared to the world that they hate American citizens. He's like, it's generally so funny, so hard how they're trying to make this a thing. And by all available statistics, look, Democrats are not proud to be Americans. Democrats hate America, probably except for like the older Democrats, where the old school Democrats were just loyal to the party. Democrats hate America. Look, pride in being an American by political party, 2021 to 2025. How proud are you to be an American? Extremely proud, very proud, moderately proud, only a little proud. Figures are the percentage who are extremely or very proud. Republican, 92% of Republicans are extremely proud to be an American. 36%. Only 36% of Democrats are very proud to be an American. Look, it used to be very close in 2001. Look. 87% of Democrats, 90% of Republicans. 20 years ago, said we're proud to be an American. Now, numbers 36% for Democrats, 92% for Republicans. This is why I said the divide today in politics, it's between those who hate America and those who love America. The left who hates America, who hates its Christian roots, and those on the right who love America and may not even be Christian, but appreciate the Christian roots of America. So it is so unbelievable how Democrats keep lying. The left keeps lying, and I just keep beating a dead horse, but they lie. And that's all they do. Words are but a means to deceive. Same thing here. J.B. Pritzker, the SAVE Act isn't about stopping fraud, it's about stopping voters. What kind of voters, J.B.? What kind of voters? They just say nebulously so that they're, again, NPC voters and listeners would just go along with it. That they're trying to harm your right to vote. Okay, by what standard? Whose voting rights are they taking away? Oh, they're going to take away 20 to 30 million Americans' right to vote. Okay, who? By what criteria are Republicans selecting these Americans to not be able to vote anymore? Oh yeah, those who are not American citizens? Duh. And by that, you're admitting that tens of millions of people in America who are not American citizens have been voting in American elections. What kind of voters? What kind of voters are they trying to prevent from voting in the SAVE Act? They keep saying they're trying to prevent Americans from voting. What kind of Americans? Well, by what credentials or criteria will they prevent Americans from voting? Is it just going to be random? Completely random? No. We all know that's not true. Oh, it's to prevent non-American citizens from voting. So disingenuous. So disingenuous. And to end the Democrat meltdown, we have Chuck Schumer losing it on the Senate floor the day after the State of the Union address. Let's watch his meltdown.
President, last night was not America's State of the Union. It was Donald Trump's state of delusion. For 2 long hours, the president stood in the House chamber congratulating himself, inflating his own ego, but offering no solutions to our country's many problems. He's in a bubble.
He did offer
even
solutions.
Have a clue about what the average American family is going through.
Yeah, he does.
Donald Trump patted himself on the back so many times, I thought he'd fall down. While Donald Trump kept claiming that America is back and that we're, quote, winning so much we don't know what to do about it, that's only half true. We are not winning so much, but he sure has no idea what to do about the problems in America, and he admitted it right there himself. People back home were asking something different than what the speech addressed. They're asking, what about my electricity bill? How am I going to pay for my groceries? How am I going to afford a doctor? Donald Trump ignored all these things during his speech last night. Frankly, I've never heard a State of the Union speech, and I've heard quite a few, where the president's rhetoric and the country's reality were so far apart.
They just make things up. It's that meme. Source, I made it up. They just say things and lie with no impunity. It's so insane.
Instead, Donald Trump spent most of his speech focused on the accomplishments not of his administration, but on the accomplishments of other Americans whose accomplishments he has nothing to do with. We're all proud of the men and women hockey teams that just won golds in the Olympics. We're all proud and grateful of our veterans. They deserve honor. But Donald Trump didn't have anything to do with these accomplishments. He had so little to say about what he accomplished that he had to just go on and on about accomplishments of others. And folks back home want to hear about what the president is doing to help with their problems. They don't want to hear a fantasy that everything is going great, but it got worse. Trump didn't simply ignore the affordability crisis. He mocked it yet again. The average American sitting at their table trying to figure out how they're going to pay that damn bill was furious that he said it doesn't matter.
He didn't say it doesn't matter.
To watch a billionaire like Donald Trump make fun of people's financial struggles during a State of the Union speech.
They just make things up. When did he make fun of the affordability crisis? He says he's tackling it.
Guy doesn't have a clue. He's in a bubble so thick he can't hear what people are going through. And of course, he lied about the economy. This man is an inveterate liar. Everyone knows that. He said last night that manufacturing jobs gone way up. That's a lie. Manufacturing is down by 100,000 jobs since he took office. He bragged last night about job creation. Well, job creation is at its lowest point in over 20 years outside of a recession. Its lowest point in 20 years, and he brags about it. Donald Trump claims...
Yeah, because you keep importing illegals, and all the jobs that are supposed to go to Americans are going to H-1Bs and foreign nationals. So yes, the Americans who want these jobs can't get the job. Duh.
That the fight against inflation is over, that's a lot of BS. Just go to the grocery store, and you'll see.
Yeah, so what is President Trump supposed to do? Can you magically just snap his fingers and make the grocery prices go down? No, these things take time.
Donald Trump.
But objectively, he slowed the rate of inflation. He has.
Speech was filled with fluff and hype. When was the last time Trump bought a cup of coffee? When is the last time Trump walked into a grocery store? His speech shows that he never has. It was also rich last night to hear Donald Trump announce that he'll put J.D. Vance in charge of investigating corruption. Now, I think putting J.D. Vance in charge of corruption is actually something that might work out, because he's right, he's in the midst of it, he's all around it. And I've got some suggestions for where he can begin. If Vice President Vance wants to investigate corruption, he should look into the billionaires who are donating to Donald Trump's fancy ballroom. He should look into how...
Yeah, we can build beautiful things again. There's nothing wrong with that. A ballroom? Heck yeah. That's quintessential Western civilization, having a ballroom.
So many within the administration are making a killing, a personal killing off crypto deals. He should investigate why Donald Trump pardoned the ex-president of Honduras who was convicted of drug trafficking. If he wants to look into corruption, let him investigate the luxury jet Donald Trump received as a gift from the Middle East. He's got a lot to do right around him.
Oh, so bad. He got a jet as a gift. He doesn't even need... He can buy a jet for himself. He doesn't need it as a gift. He's a billionaire.
If he wants to investigate corruption, because this is the most corrupt administration, I think, ever. Certainly in decades and maybe over...
They just say these things, but there's no corruption that they can point to. Like, point it out. But it's just all of this nothing burgers. All these nothing burgers. The most corrupt and hateful administration ever in U.S. history. Oh, it's because he's accidentally posted a short clip of a Lion King parody of the Democratic Party, so he hates black people.
Century. If J.D. Vance wants to get to the bottom of corruption in government, the good news is that all he has to do is walk down the hall into the Oval Office. So in sum, last night, did what he does better than anyone else, one of the few things he does better than anyone else. He boosted his own ego and patted himself on the back. Didn't address the needs of Americans and just broke promise after promise after promise. If anyone watching last night was hoping to hear about how Donald Trump is going to lower their costs and their economic pain, his speech was an anemic dud. So I suggest Americans who care about the high cost of living, about affordability, which Trump knocks, get a copy of Governor Spanberger's speech. She focused on it like a bullseye. Her speech was so much more in tune with where the American people are at than Donald Trump's. The contrast is glaring. And I also want to salute Senator Padilla.
Dang, Democrats just live in a whole different reality. Liberals live in a whole different reality. This is why we can't share a country with these people, unfortunately. They live in a whole separate reality. There is nothing about that speech that resembles reality at all. They just make things up, and then their voters believe it, their listeners believe it, and then they don't even look for the source. They're like, oh, it must be true. And then conservatives are always trying to catch up to the narrative that the liberals set, what they lie about. They're always trying to catch up. And so I appreciate this dynamic is changing, because now conservatives are setting the narrative a lot of the times, and then now liberals have to play catch up, which is fine. That's how we win, because we have to set the narrative. And so Trump is a master at this. He delivers a masterclass, and this is why the Democrats are freaking out. And they just say things, and they make it up, and they're hoping their voters believe it. But sure, you know, rest assured, the Democrat display of how much they hate God and hate American citizens and prioritize foreign nationals over American citizens, it was on clear display. On clear display, a lot of people saw it, and a lot of people, I hope, are going to change their minds about voting Democrat ever again.